me being married, I can understand where it's kind of a difficulty, but I got born into this family. You got married into this family.
I mean, you have the lineage, you have the bloodline.
Yeah.
All right. So, on a recent episode, there's a clip that's going viral. Braxton Family Values. You know, the show had been off air at least a year or two. You know, of course, there was a lot going on. Unfortunately, the Braxtons lost Tracy Braxton, one of the sisters. She passed away with some form of cancer that she had, and continued sincere condolences to their family in that respect. In one of the most recent episodes, there was a clip where Tracy's son, he's her sole survivor. She only had one kid, and it's Kevin Surratt. I may be mispronouncing his name. Something in that clip, they were talking about basically the context of that particular episode was that Kevin Sr., who of course was married to Tracy for well over 28, 29 years, he was feeling some type of way, and this is according to his son with Tracy, Kevin Jr. He was feeling some type of way because Tracy, in her will, she left her son as the executor of her estate. Honestly, I can see both sides of this. I know many of the comments were like, well, he cheated on her many years ago and she never forgot that. And let's just say if that were true, or that was her reason, that was one of the reasons why she did it that way, I could see her making the decision that she made business-wise and making her son the executor of her estate, who will be in charge of obviously the estate, but also her likeness. She is famous. She is related to, or the sister of, Toni Braxton, an international music artist. So she is famous. So who knows what could come down the pipeline later in terms of an opportunity that would include her. So I get why she would have made that decision. But again, back to what many of the comments were saying, she made that decision, because her husband cheated on her and she never forgot that. My belief is that she did it because, as any parent would do, you want to make sure your child is okay. It's like, I may not have anything else to pass on to you, but if I can pass on what name I've made for myself, i.e. Tracy Braxton, the name she has made for herself, with the success, the modicum of success that she's had, I'm going to pass it on to my child. That's how I believe it was. And of course, we'll never know, because only one person knows why they made the decision to write their will the way they wrote it. Tracy Braxton. She's the only one who can really, really answer that question. The rest of us will just be grasping at straws and, thinking this, thinking that, or whatever. It's really unfortunate, though, that it's being televised and being talked about all across TV, because in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking about, wow, he lost his mom and her presence. He will never have her presence again. His relationship with his dad for now, again, this is based on what Kevin Jr. is saying. It just seems like that relationship is now strained because of the end result, or what Tracy decided. So now that relationship is strained. But I'm amazed at how the Braxtons are all across the television making all kind of crazy comments, not necessarily in the presence of the son, but just to be making these comments, period, on television. Just like, wait a minute. You can't love that man's son, but you're dogging him out. You don't have anything good to say about him. You guys are on TV. Has anybody been reminded of that? Have you guys all forgotten? I just don't get that. And them talking with the attorney. In reality TV world, there's only one doctor, one therapist, one attorney, and those 3 professionals are spread across 10 different reality shows. So they're speaking with attorney Atavius, who's been around for many, many seasons for the Braxton family. Trina and Kevin Jr., I believe Tawanda's there too, but for sure, Trina and Kevin Jr. are there for sure, speaking with the attorney. And one of the comments that Kevin Jr. made was, he was born into this family, meaning the Braxton family. I was born into this. My dad married into this. That's not how life works. I know it all sounds cute and all the women are all on top of it. Like, yes, baby, you better say that. That's what I'm talking about. Even in another scene at Trina's house, Tawanda was very celebratory of him making that comment. No, sir. You got your daddy's last name. You were not born into anything. Your mom is a Braxton. Yes, of course. You are her bloodline. I thought that was just completely disrespectful to his dad. You are walking around at 20-something years old carrying your dad's name, not just his surname. You're Kevin Jr. You are named after your dad. I was born into this. He married into it. Men don't marry into a woman's family. I get the concept and what is meant when they say that. When you marry me, we get married, your family is my family is your family. True. She took his name. He didn't take hers. She married into his family. Her family becomes his family. Huge difference. I really do hope they work this out. They figure that out. Like I said, in terms of presence, he has lost his mom. He would never, that's a loss, LOSS. That is a loss. He would never get her back. Condolences to the family. Condolences to her only living heir, Kevin Jr. But I really do, for the sake of him being in this world, trying to make these decisions. I believe he's even going through a divorce now. When his mom passed, he was still married. You know what I mean? So it's like he's going through these major, major events in life right behind the death of his mother. I just wish his aunts would be a little bit, you're going to feel how you feel. But I just wish they would just be a little bit more compassionate when it comes to, you know what? We're filming right now. I get it. This is supposed to be reality TV. I understand. But just be a little bit more compassionate, because at the end of the day, that man, Kevin Sr., is still the father to this young man who is his namesake, Kevin Surratt Jr. Y'all remember when Tawanda was going through her stuff with her ex-husband, Andre.
To her kids, you can't say I'm staying in a marriage because of my children, especially when they're not the provider. He ain't doing nothing but really babysit, wasting her time. She's a young woman. Excuse me, she is a young woman.
I have to say something, Tamar. That's enough. He's not a babysitter. You're not going to degrade him in that way. He's not a babysitter. He's a father. It's a difference. No, it's not. Please tell Tamar. It's a freaking difference, Tamar. It's difference between a babysitter and a father.
She was going through her stuff with Andre. You couldn't tell her anything about that man as it related to him being the father of her kid. When I said you couldn't tell her anything, she lost her. When Tamar made the comment about he's just a babysitter. He's just a babysitter, albeit disrespectful. I didn't agree with that either. I will say that. But I'm just using that as an example of there has to still be a level of respect when it comes to the father of those kids, no matter how you feel disparaging and speaking down and speaking negatively on camera about that man. Nah, let's do it a different way. Let's do it a different way. So all the best to the Braxton family, specifically Kevin Surratt Jr. All the best to him. And hopefully he and his dad can sit down and talk. His mom made him the executor of her estate. There's no changing that. It is what it is. He needs that. And I hope the dad can actually see and understand it to be that way. He needs that because, you know, as Black people, there isn't much that many of us can say someone left us, someone did for us, generational wealth, a real legacy or whatever. So I'm proud that she did it that way. I support that she did it that way, although I say I can see both sides of it, meaning her husband, him thinking it should have been him. I'm glad she did not leave it to him, and I'll tell you why. I'm glad she didn't, because if she would have left it to her husband solely as the executor, well, the executor of the estate gets to make all of the decisions. He could go on and do whatever he wants to do, take on another wife, take on another family, make whatever decisions he's going to make. So if there's money coming in, we don't know how a person actually will handle things, son or no son. So that's what I mean when I say I can see both sides of it, but I really do. More importantly for me is the relationship between those two, and hopefully just him, the son being the executor of the estate, that doesn't just drive a wedge so deeply in between them where they just lose communication, they lose their relationship as father and son, because they're both still grieving. They both, along with the Braxton family, of course, they both had a loss when Tracy Braxton passed away. So hopefully they can get through that. I'm glad she did make that decision and do that for her son. He really does need that, but we will see how that actually plays out. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Zara Golden. Be sure to comment down below. I always look forward to similar and different points of views. Hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe to my channel. Until the next time, take care.